Disk arrived. The initial cognitive dissonance had escalated into a full-blown societal unraveling. The glimpses of the flat Earth, once fleeting and terrifying, now persisted for longer durations in the human mind, creating widespread disorientation and hysteria. Mass migrations, not just communal withdrawals, had begun, as humanity instinctively sensed the true scale of their world, attempted to flee perceived edges that didn't exist, only to collide with an incomprehensible vastness. From his commanding position in the cliffside overlook, Arden, the Prime Immortal, observed the agonizing birth of humanity's true awareness. The geomantic displays showed the planet's key, fully unbound, flowing through the digital networks as salty and inadvertently opened, transforming every screen, every signal, into a conduit for raw, unvarnished truth. The very air pulsed with the resonance of a world no longer contained. The old illusions are completely broken, Master Arden, Alara reported, her voice quiet, almost awed by the scale of the destruction. Her gaze swept across the pulsing map of human suffering. Governments have fallen, militaries are fracturing. The human species is, in essence, without leadership, without a perceived reality to anchor them. Arden nodded, his ancient eyes fixed on the chaotic display. This was precisely what we had intended, the necessary destruction before the arduous task of rebuilding could begin. Humanity, shackled by the lie, had grown complacent, vulnerable. Only by shattering their cage could they truly begin to see. Their leaders were mere custodians of the illusion, Arden stated, his voice calm amidst the growing hum of the unbound key. Now they are merely humans, as lost as any other. The true guidance must come from a source that transcends their broken realities. He turned from the console, his movements precise, his focus absolute. The internal rain in his sanctuary now fell with a powerful rhythmic beat, a cleansing deluge that reflected the profound shifts occurring outside. The roar of the re-energized waterfall was a constant, resonant hum, a symphony of unleashed power. Activate the Acolyte Network. Its primary guidance nodes. Arden commanded. It is time for the truth to be presented, not as a fleeting horror, but as a new understanding. They are not to provide answers, but questions, to guide the fear toward curiosity, to point toward the true horizon. Ilara's eyes widened with understanding. The acolytes, the hidden geomancers dwelling beyond the wall, were not merely Arden's loyalists. They were his chosen instruments for this profound awakening. For centuries, they have preserved the ancient knowledge, learning to navigate the raw key of the true planar world, preparing for this very moment. Now they would step forth, not as saviors, but as guides. From beyond the Antarctic wall, a new set of geomantic signals emerged on Arden's display. Not the raw, untamed key of the planet, but subtle, precise pulses of coherent light, radiating from the Acolytes' ancient settlements. These were whispers of knowledge, carefully modulated frequencies designed to bypass the amygdala's primal fear response and appeal directly to humanity's innate capacity for reason and wonder. They began to subtly influence the digital feeds, appearing as anomalous data, fragmented maps, and cryptic messages that hinted at a vast, unexplored world. Meanwhile, the Syndicate, battered and broken, made their desperate final moves. Zephyrion, his financial empire fire and ruins lashed out with raw, unfocused ki blasts, desperate attempts to reimpose order that only added to the global cacophony. Kalen, his mind reeling from the uncontainable chaos, turned his efforts inward, attempting to shield his own remaining enclaves from the encroaching truth, creating localized pockets of distorted reality that flickered eerily on Arden's map. Alyssin's signature, once a clear and challenging presence, now pulsed with a complex mix of triumph and an almost overwhelmed urgency. She was attempting to ride the wave Arden had unleashed, to steer the awakening towards her own vision of a humanity free from the lie. But she struggled against the sheer, overwhelming force of the unbound ki. Her carefully planned gambit had become a tsunami, too vast even for her genius to fully control. She was no longer orchestrating the chaos, she was swimming within it. She is attempting to mitigate the damage, Ilara noted, her gaze tracking Alyssin's frantic efforts, to guide them through this shock. She desires a rebirth, Arden acknowledged, his voice distant, his gaze fixed on the glowing signals of his acolytes. I desire a true awakening. The path may diverge, but the destination is the same. Humanity must learn to walk upon the flat earth. He turned back to the obsidian daze, his true link to the planet's heart. The task ahead was immense, terrifying. He had shattered the known world, broken the comforting lie that had cradled humanity for millennia. Now, as the Prime Immortal, the architect of awakening, he would begin the arduous, painful process of revealing the truth, guiding them across the chasm of the broken perception and into the terrifying, magnificent reality of the planar world. The world was fractured. It was time to show them how to put it